Welcome back, my friends. Heather Choate here from High Thrive Coaching as we go to this next and third training here for our trust restoration method. And we're going to be talking more about this in our marriage workshop. Doors are opening January 20th, coming up super quick. And we're really excited about this workshop and how we're going to be able to help you to restore trust in your marriage and be able to deliver an incredible experience for you. So just a quick recap. What is this workshop, right? What are we talking about? Is this your one-on-one coaching program? No, it's not. This is a one-on-one intensive workshop session with Mark Johnston himself. A 2-hour session where you get to work with him one-on-one to kind of jumpstart your marriage and get things going in the right direction. And we talked about how you're going to get access to the workshop, including the step-by-step training videos and all the exercises. And then the incredible bonus that we've never done before, but we really believe that life rewards those that move forward and that want to heal and bring more love and light and understanding and abundance into the world. And so we want to congratulate everyone who finishes the workshop by gifting them a 1-month coaching program, which is a value of over $2,500 as a bonus for doing this workshop. So it's going to be incredibly valuable. In that 1-month coaching program, you're going to get even more coaching, accountability, and making sure that we keep the momentum going in the right direction. Here in just a little bit, Mark's going to come on and share with you how we help you to heal and move past the pain of broken trust, how to let go of that pain. So many of you have said, I just don't know how to let go of this. I don't know how to move on from this. Is it even possible? It just seems to consume me. My heart is so broken. So he's going to show you how we apply our trust restoration method that you truly can experience some healing. And I want to show you what some others have experienced working with us with our method here at High Thrive Coaching and what you can expect from the workshop itself. Tanya just sent me this email literally like 4 days ago, and she said, working with the coaches at High Thrive has changed everything for me. My husband went from not talking to me for 3 weeks to moving back home and wanting to work with me on the marriage. And Tanya had joined our coaching several months ago. And yeah, her husband had totally shut her off, was not even talking to her, to the point where now he's moved back home and he's actually wanting to work on the marriage with her. So it's awesome, Tanya. You did a great job. And Carrie sent us this over here in Facebook, actually, on a comment on one of my posts. She said, I would not be married without you and Mark. In about a month, it will be 1 year since my husband told me that he wanted a divorce. Today, we are still married and happier than ever. I love that you shared that with me, Carrie. And this shows you that no matter where you are in your marriage right now, even if things seem really dire, that there is possibility and there is opportunity for you, but only with the right method and with working with Mark to get the solutions that you need, going through the coaching and doing what it takes to get there. Dwayne just did a recent podcast interview with us. You can check that over on the Thriving Marriage podcast. He said, Katie is putting her wedding ring back on. Love that, Dwayne. And here's from Dawn. A win. Since my husband has been back home, it once again feels as if it did in the beginning. All communications have been stopped with the other woman, and he has cut all ties. So I love that she talks about opening up communication. She talks about the way that it felt in the beginning as they're restoring this trust. So again, warning, we're only accepting 12 students each month into our workshop. And so if you're wanting to make sure that you join and you don't miss out, then click below to be notified when we open doors January 20th. And you can check out the page when we open the doors. The cost of the program is $9.97. However, you pay $0 up front. That's right, $0, because we want to make sure that you get value from this workshop And when you love it, then you pay the full $19.97. If you don't, for any reason, then you don't. That's our guarantee. And unlike, your therapist or a lawyer who will never guarantee their services, they'll never offer this kind of guarantee that we do. We are so confident in the results that we've been able to help so many other couples just like you get. We've worked with thousands of couples around the world, that we know that you're going to absolutely love this workshop. So we're taking all the risk off of you, putting it completely on ourselves and our method, because we know it works. So now let's turn the time over to Mark, who's going to share with you how to heal from the pain of broken trust, and how our trust restoration method is truly going to be the solution that you've been missing up until this point, to be able to heal and move forward in your marriage so that you can have the happiest and best marriage possible. Thank you, Mark. Turn time over to you, and I look forward to seeing you all inside the workshop here, opening on January 20th.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mark Johnston, and I am the relationship expert here with High Thrive Coaching. I'm in charge of all the content that we bring you. One of the big questions that we got asked in building up our workshop on trust was the question, how to move on. People were asking us, how do you move on and let go of the past? Either for me or my spouse, after trust has been broken. And while this question right here is not an easy, simple thing to answer in just a few minutes, I wanted to give you something to start to handle this question. Of course, there are many other things to do, and which we actually will explain in our workshop, but I wanted to go over one of these steps here so that you can have a bit of an idea of what we're going to go over. So for me, this is, the whole idea of trust is a really important one. I feel like in my own marriage with Jen, trust has been a really big topic. It's something that Jen and I have had to work quite a bit on. As early on in our marriage, it was one of the things that actually almost brought us apart. Now, I'm happy to say that Jen and I were able to let go of some pain, and we were able to rebuild trust. And the thing is, if you go about this in the right way, you can actually use these sort of instances to really turn things around such that you can actually have a much happier marriage than you might have even had before trust was broken. And I want to give this one specific tip that I think was most crucial for Jen and I. And the tip here is to quit obsessing about this idea of why me, or why did this happen? Now, this is going to apply to either, whether this is going to apply whether you were the person who has broken trust, or whether trust has been broken for you. But this idea of why me, why did this happen? This idea of victim mentality is a huge problem when trust has been broken. And if you're going to actually move past a lot of these feelings, you have to let some of that go. So how do you do that? I think one of the key parts of this little portion right here is instead a shift such that you're giving a sense of control. The victim mentality is specifically one that, in psychology terms, it is one that's focused on having an external locus of control, a sense that the control over events, over your life, lies outside of yourself. And such that because of that, the circumstances around the whatever broke trust feel chaotic. Like I don't have any way to control this pain. And so they get into this victim mentality. Why me? And so a remedy for that to get away from that why me, why did this happen, this victim mentality, is actually to give a sense of control to the person who has been hurt. Now, what's interesting is you can do this whether you were the person who has been hurt or whether you have been hurt, is you find ways to regain that control within your relationship. This doesn't mean that you become this controlling person. Not at all. Um, it's much more about clearly defining responsibilities. In other words, finding the areas that you should actually be controlling and letting go of the ones that you don't need to control. You know, in my marriage, I'll admit I was the one that broke some trust, and my wife had a really hard time feeling responsible. You know, if only she had been a better wife, if only she had done better with me, maybe things could have been different. And one of the things that I personally really worked hard on was helping her to see that, you know, I was responsible for my own actions, and that it was more healthy for her to let go of some of those responsibilities. That doesn't mean that we forgot about some of the problems. No, instead, you know, she and I worked together to emphasize what I was responsible for, and she supported me in that without taking responsibility for it. Conversely, I helped her to know what she could help me with, what she could control, such that you know, that we could move on from this. A lot of this was around. It was possible because we separated the problems from the people. In other words, we had a specific problem that we were dealing with, and instead of linking that to me, uh, my wife and I kind of made a decision. We're saying, okay, here's this problem that we are dealing with. It is not a part of who I am. It's something that we are working on together. And there was a real detachment there, such that we could be able to examine it, and wasn't we could take a look at it without being hurt. I But all what this did is it allowed us to look at the situation objectively, allowed us to feel like we had a bit of more control. And because of that, we're able to look at this and ask the question, okay, when we are seeing setbacks, when we are experiencing this problem, what can I learn from this? Instead of, why am I so hurt? You know, why did you hurt me? It was, what can we learn? These things really got us outside of, you know, it helped my wife get outside of this victim mentality. It helped me get outside of the victim mentality, because oddly enough, I felt stuck. I felt like I couldn't make changes. I couldn't do anything about it. I said, why me? Why can't I do anything differently here? And we were able to get a better sense of control over the situation. The result here, what was interesting, is we were able to move past the pain of this problem. And the result is a long, happy marriage together. You know, because of this, I can remember even, you know, this was a hard period in our marriage, but we were always ended up feeling very close. And we would get comments all the time from strangers, from, you know, acquaintances, people who weren't even like, you know, they saw that we were a little, you know, getting old, like into our 30s, but they say, you guys look like newlyweds. They knew that we had kids, but they saw how much love that we had towards each other. And that was, you know, this is the amazing thing about these sort of principles, is that, like I said, if you can overcome these sort of problems, you can have a much stronger, happier relationship than you ever had. One where working on problems together actually brings you closer together. That I know that I can go to my wife, Jen, and share any sort of struggle that I have with her, and know that she's going to support me. And we are able to get through this, bring all the pain to an end, and really find some common ground to build upon and support each other, build a family. So this is just one piece of that question, one piece of building a marriage, getting past the pain. Um, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and sign up for our trust workshop. We would love to see you in there and give you more, give you more content, give you concrete steps on how to do this yourself in your own marriage. My wife is going to be joining me in some of these lectures, and we'd love to talk to you and answer any question that you may have. So hope to see you on the inside.